Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hello, Raven Legend. How are you doing today? We are continuing on the entire journey through WebAssembly and Canvas. And so we left off yesterday. Ronnie 55. Good morning. Hello. We left off yesterday with finding an article in the book. I guess it's just a chapter in a book, a page in a book. That WebAssembly book that we were going through that talked about how we can actually manipulate the canvas inside of Rust, as opposed to just basically doing all the math and all the positioning, all the logic inside of Rust, and then having JavaScript manipulate the canvas. Now, I ran it really quickly and it didn't work. But that doesn't mean it's not ever going to work. It might just mean that we haven't really like spent enough time debugging it. Yeah, that could be it. Totally. So, anyways, that's what we want to work on today. See what we can get. So, starting over here, I want to go into I want to start up our Webpack server. So npm run start. I think with start I could just do npm start. I don't think I need to do a run start. All right, cool. So this is running on 8082. And then over here, I want to run and npm, no. Wasm pack build. Okay, so wasm pack build. Is there wasm pack like watch? I'm not seeing anything for like watch the code and every time you save it, it rebuilds it. That would be pretty amazing, but it doesn't look like we have that. So it's gonna be wasm pack build. This is serving the website, and then theoretically we can come over to our browser and come on, you localhost 8082. Right? We're not doing anything yet. Error importing game. Okay, so if we take a look at this is our bootstrap.js error. Well, it's kind of a little bit fake for us because the error is actually happening somewhere underneath it. But if we go over to bootstrap.js, we'll see that we do have this catch, and then it's trying to like print out what the error is. Unfortunately, the error is undefined for us, so it's not really being passed in. But import main.js. If we go to main.js, we're doing this. Now let me try removing all of you. Save you. Yeah, we're still getting this error. And so we're running wasm.run. Now, if we come back over to our wasm, that's out here in source lib. So here's run. We're trying to like just load the document and do all sorts of cool stuff. So I think we may have to like do this one at a time, or maybe like go back to that page and really try to like figure out what's going on. What are we supposed to be doing? So let's go find the. Actually, we have a link in Discord. Because Peyton Rules had given us that link. See if we can find it. Okay, this one. Message link. There. Wait, what? Oh, when I try to copy the message link, I try to copy the Discord link to the message. I don't need that. Stacking, good morning. You think you didn't copy the Wasm Bindgen start? I don't know if that's the problem. You're right. I didn't copy that because I didn't think I needed it. But apparently, maybe not apparently yet, but maybe we do. So let's just go from the top here. So we also have our cargo.toml. So this is all pretty standard. Lib create type cdy lib. Okay, we do have that here. Dependencies, JSys and wasm bindgen. So we have those. Dependencies.websys. Version 034 features. Okay, so I believe we just copied all of these over. That should be fine. All right, so back to here. In our main live.rs. Okay, so use standard F64, use wasm bindgen. So bring in the prelude for wasm bindgen. Also bring in JSCast. Now this is stuff that we need for like if we want to run JavaScript functions. But okay, let's take a look. We have this start. Let's actually just rename this to start. Wasm bindgen, and let's actually put this as start. Okay, so first change. Every time we make a change in the Rust code, we have to rebuild it. And then we can come over here, take a look to see if it's working. Run wasn't started because we changed the name to start. So we're still getting an error importing the game. Okay. All right, so let's say I get rid of all of this. And we have something like a return. Well, like return an I32. We're going to return 5. 5. Oh. The trait bound I32 wasm start is not satisfied. So what's the trait that you need? Oh, is it because I'm not supposed to return anything? Okay, so if I just do that, then you're happy. Okay. So back to here. Basically, we should get nothing out of here. So no errors, theoretically. So you're happy. And no errors. Okay. So now it's just one by one implementing this. Okay, so we're first going to get document out of websys. Window unwrap, document unwrap. Okay, so let's try that. I'm going to grab this line first. Actually, what I think I can do is grab this entire thing. recompile. That should bring us back to error state. Yes. Okay, so let's comment out everything except one line, and then we'll just sort of uncomment line at a time until we find where the error starts. And hopefully it's not line 1. Okay, so not line 1. So not getting the document. How about getting the canvas? Getting the canvas. So we get an error right here. So document get element by ID canvas. Now, okay, you're looking for get element ID. Is there a query selector? Can I do that? Because now that I think about it, I don't think I have a tag with an ID canvas. Aha, okay. So now we re-enable all of these. Method not found in centered option. Okay, so dine into is not found. Another question is, how old is this tutorial in the library, as plain Rust tutorials can get old fast and WASM tutorials get older 10 times faster? I know. And then what's really sort of sad is that this is from the official book on Rust WASM. This is the rustwasm.github.io. This is the book that they advertise in the front page of Rust, and the one that everybody, when you go to like any conference that talks about WASM, they're like, oh yeah, it's the best resource for any WASM out there anywhere. But I don't know, like, I don't know how much I can agree with that if we constantly run into these little, oh yeah, by the way, it updated and we didn't update our book anymore. It's like, well, then this can't be the best. If you have to debug just the sample code. Okay, now the first problem, the reason why this was erroring for me is because in my index.html, I don't have an ID on the canvas, so I'm using query selector. So it is nice to know that they do have a query selector here. So we're getting a canvas. Now, what I'm really curious about is if I debug canvas, let's go ahead and just panic right afterwards. Oh, okay. I can't just panic. I have to. I was hoping that if I panicked, it wouldn't care. That it would like just not compile anything else after that. Okay, so if I do that, now where is this gonna go? Where is it gonna lock this? I'm actually kind of curious. And I'm guessing I'm not gonna be able to find it. Oh, it looks like query selector doesn't have a dine into trait attached to it though. That's bad. Okay, you're probably right. All right. What was I doing? Okay, I ran this, then coming back to here. Yeah, so I don't know where. How would I do logs? How would I possibly do any kind of like logging for this? That seems. Okay, let's assume that you're correct. Put all this back. So if I need to go back to what is it? Get get elements by ID. We need a canvas. So that means over here, we need to give this an ID. ID equals canvas. So if I do that, rebuild you, you're fine. Oh, and look at this. I'm at 170% zoom in, which is why it's going to be bigger. But here we go. We have a canvas displaying. So stacking, you're correct. This is not that was the reason why it wasn't working, is because query selector doesn't implement the trait that get element by ID does, which, I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be good, because query selector is the more modern way of getting it, of like getting elements. But I guess we'll just have to do things by get element by ID. All right, so with that being said, we now have a canvas. So theoretically, we can do this entire game inside of Rust here. So if we want to get back to where we were yesterday, but now this time with all Rust, if we have a start here, we want start to then run like a setup. So we're gonna want like a setup section, let's see, we need to set up, we need to have an update loop, and we need to have a draw. And that's pretty much it for like very simple game engines. Like update and draw are gonna call the functions that really, like, you know, get things running. Now, okay, so we have a context. We can start passing this around too. I can probably store the context away. So if we create another function setup, and we throw this all in it, so we get the canvas. We get the context. This is so ugly. Now they're doing context.begin path. Is there a... So where are we getting this from? This is a canvas rendering context 2D. Is that from Wasm Bindgen or JS Cast? Oh, I think it's from WebSys. So let's actually compile the docs. And maybe we can go see if... Oh, it's from WebSys. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Museum. So if we open up the docs here, we can maybe go find out what methods we can do on context and draw ourselves a rectangle instead of all these fun shapes. Since we're not going to be drawing smiley faces in the game, we're going to be loading up images. So we probably want to load up an image and display that. Okay, so we got you open. Well, you didn't really open there. All right. Oh. Okay, hold on. I open you. sort of. This is the wrong one. Okay, so hold on. Code. Where did you go? Okay, so Brooks builds jungle target dock jungle index. Builds jungle target dock jungle index HTML. Okay, here we go. Finally, we get the documentation. So we want to head over to WebSys, I believe. And inside of WebSys, okay, can we get access? Okay, so we want Canvas. I guess actually it's a context, isn't it? Probably also want to refer to the JS docs. Oh, okay, yeah, to like figure out. And I think there was a rectangle one, right? There's like a rectangle that we could draw on a canvas. What did we do? We did canvas. We got the context. Okay, so we created a new image. So clear rect, fill rect, stroke rect. Okay, so it's rect. Now, image. It's all still part of canvas. You'll need to enable features in a WebSys, by the way. Oh, really? Okay, hold on. Is that my problem? Cargo.toml. Oh, okay. So if I want to image, and I guess I need to rebuild the docs. Oh, so WebSys, okay. WebSys doesn't have feature image. Okay. Let's actually go to the full WebSys. So go to LibreS, go to WebSys. If I want to create like a brand new image, do they have that at all? Or is that going to be something we just don't have access to? HTML image element or SVG image element? I don't know. We could go take a look at MDN image. Here it is. Okay, so image constructor creates a new HTML image element. Okay, so you're right. This is HTML image element. So we want HTML image element. Okay, so if I do that, there we go. So this recompiles. So you were correct, Musean. It is HTML image element. Okay, so back to you. We're local here. So if I now search, refresh you, here is HTML image element. they have a new, like, how do I want, let's take a look at this. Ooh, this is fun. Okay, so pub type, HTML image elements, and all the functions on it. How are these used? Basically, we do HTML. Ooh, I could do a fancy search. HTML image element. So asterisk, arrow, HTML image element. Anything returns type. Oh, cool. New. Okay, so. Okay, this goes. So in HTML image element, there is a new. So that means I want to get the context. And once we have the context, we're good to sort of like, I guess in here we want like pre setup almost. That's where this is gonna come in. Move this up here. And then in setup, so I don't want to do any of these things. I don't need to like draw. I guess this is initialized. And the really big important thing here is that we get the context. Then in setup, and so this can be, I guess it needs to be wasm bindgen so it can run in the browser. So it still needs to be, but it doesn't need to be public. So this is going to be function setup. And we're going to take in a, I guess in this case, I would love to take in a reference to the context. And where you're canvas rendering context 2D. And I don't think we're going to return anything from you, at least right away. Oh, we can only bind gen public functions. Do I need you? So in here, let's say I don't. You can I find you in type? Import. Let's just try calling you. And we're going to pass in a reference to context. You don't need to bind gen macro those, or so you can call that function from JavaScript. Okay, so the I probably don't need this. We can compile this and verify. If it compiles and it still runs without error, then yeah, we're just fine. Sure Shock, hello. Okay, so we got that. Back over to here, and we've got no errors. So perfect. And that means we can now use this context to load up the image. So if we take a look at how that image works, we need to create a new HTML image element and then set its source. So that's going to be our first thing. Then we're going to want to draw this image. So that means we're going to want a struct, like a game struct. So what is that going to look like? Well, let's say, are you working on Canvas using WASM? Yes, we are. It's gonna be interesting because this means that we can do almost all of our coding in Rust. Um, although it might be painful, it will also be like really interesting to sort of like see how far we can get with this. Okay, so let's do a struct game state. In here, I want to store the image. And this is going to be an HTML image element. I want to import game state. And here's where we're going to move you inside of here. So now inside of our initialize, we're also going to let state equals game state. Oh, I want a news, so I guess that's fun. Game state. Oh, and pass it then setup. Setup, and pass it a reference to the context. Basically, all the types are in the root. We probably want to do like a use websys. So when you're compiling, if we like bring in all extra things, it does strip those out in the release build, right? Like it strips out everything that we don't use, even if we pull them in. Is that correct, or use doesn't actually do anything? Interesting. I didn't know that. It just changes the namespace. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was like telling it I want to pull in all this code, but I guess the compiler is just the compiler is going to be smart enough to like pull those things out. If I'm not using them, not include them in the binary. To the compiler, it just sees websys. Okay, yeah. So that basically only what I use is going to be there. That's nice. What fonts am I using? Hello, coding warriors. I'm using. Did I create a command for this? No, I did not. I am using font JetBrains Mono as my font with ligatures turned on. It just re-exports the symbol name into a different namespace. Okay, cool. All right. So now we have our setup here. Now, as part of setup, we want to eventually have this be let game. Okay. Hold on. We don't want to do that. This is now game state, setup, context, and then we're going to have access to our game state. And so that means we need to return self here, which obviously means we need to return a game state, which means we need an image. So that image equals, this is the HTML image element new. If we go take a look at the documentation for that, new doesn't take anything in. So at this point in time, we want you to be mutable. Let's do that so we don't get the error anymore. Okay, so can I now do image dot source? Okay, it's a function. Oh, it's a getter for, okay, set source. That's what I want. Set source. Set C. It's a function as opposed to a property like last time. And the value is going to be what we have in here. And you don't return anything, so you just set that. Okay. Also, I missed a lot of chat. Sorry about that, Museum. Answer shock. Let's see. Pub use fuse bar is still colon few from Rust point of view, but doesn't it trace etc. to the system? Trace just let it resolve a method. They don't generate new code. I mean, Rust. Oh yeah. So like Rust has to do work for that, and then that makes compile time a little bit slower, but runtime is much faster because of it. Yeah. And I guess like that's the best thing is there. The compromise is compile time for runtime. Mm. And footprint of the binaries, as Museum you just said. That's true too. Okay, so I set the image source, and that gives me here. Then I want to request animations frame. Let's say if we just do this once. I don't do like the loop yet. I want to draw, and we want to now do a draw image off of context, and then pass it in the image and okay, its location and its size. Rust binaries are already bloated. What's one other 100 megabytes? Oh yeah, I think like because Rust does come. Does Rust put the runtime checks in the binary if it doesn't need them, or are they always there? Monomorphization will increase binary size, but more code use equals more stuff it generates naturally, but a use doesn't increase the code size at all. You know, I haven't programmed in C++, so I haven't really gotten a good chance to compare those. All right, so if I want to now do a draw image off of this, so we already have the context. So let's say we're setting the source off of this. We now want to return a self and pass in the image. I don't know. I like to be explicit with that. It just makes me feel better. All right, so you are no method to say set source found for enum result. Okay, so this is your HTML5 element. Whoa, so you're not Quest Analyzer. You're not there. Okay, let's unwrap. That makes you happy. Okay. Oh, and this doesn't need to be mutable. Interesting. Okay, so I guess I don't need the context yet. But when I have draw, we're going to need it. So if we now have a pub function draw, this one is going to take self, and then it's also going to take in the context. We're not going to return anything. Let's go ahead and we're going to do context dot. And so we need to do a draw image. Is that just how I do it? Draw image with HTML. Okay, draw image method right here. So it's a function And you are import canvas rendering context 2D. Draw image with HTML image element. Oh, that's a lovely name. Draw image with HTML image element. Okay, so, and then that's going to take in self. It's going to take in a reference to the image and a DX and a DY. Interesting. Okay. I can't set the size here, which is interesting. So, this is going to be the image and then the X and the Y. So this will be a reference to self.image. And let's just do something like 0 and 0. And then were there F? Those were Fs. Okay, so if I do that, and you're going to return a result. So let's go ahead and unwrap you. And inside of here, we're just going to run GameState.draw and pass in a reference to the context. So I'm curious, is this going to work? Wasn't pack build, no errors there. No errors, but I also don't see the image showing up here. Now that doesn't really mean too much. Okay, so what did I do wrong? So we're running start, we know that. In start, we get the game state through setup. So it's actually part of here. Then we run GameState.draw and pass it a reference to the context. And then you're attempting to draw this image. I guess this. I guess one way for us to you did build. Can we see it trying to pull that image? Okay, so it did a 304 not okay, so it did a GET request to get this image. Is there like a display out? Am I missing something? Get the context. Now this one, we have to set the width and the height. Ooh, maybe it's not, maybe it has no size. Maybe that's a problem. So if I want, so if we have like a set source, if we come here, is there also like a set width? So we have an alt, set alt. Set height. Set width. Okay. That's what we need. Set height and set width. Set it has a size. Okay, so here in setup, we're also going to run image.set width. And I want this. I'm do you take in? A U32. Okay, so if I just set this to be something like, I don't know, 150. Image dot set height 150. Okay, we'll recompile. You're still not showing up anywhere. Now the image, we have the image showing up here. And I wonder if that needs to be outside of here. Like, let me try putting it up there. Because, like, I'm thinking that it doesn't actually store the image. I think it just stores the source of the image, and at runtime, it does a request for the image. That's what I'm guessing. Well, okay, so if I do that, here it is. Okay, so we get a 404 not found because it's searching for localhost and then this entire image. Perfect. So that does mean that this image is supposed to be in www because that's where I'm serving all the assets from. Then if I hit refresh, it's able to get the image now. So now I need to make sure that we're drawing it. So we have this draw image with HTML image element, self image. Okay, let's try like 200 0 200.0. So we're getting the 304 get. We're not getting any console errors. We're obviously also not getting the image anywhere on screen. Let's try drawing a like a square. So I think that was like a rectangle. Okay, so I want to do a fill rect. Did we do anything in here to like make the background? No, we didn't. Okay, so if I put you back, except for you. Oh, you don't work either. Okay. Oh, right, because canvas query selector is going to be hash canvas. What did I do wrong? So we're going to get ID canvas out, get the context 2D, get the canvas width and height, create the image, get the source, Oh, in our loop, we're not calling draw. That's a problem. There it is. So this is what we're trying to get out of this, is to show something like that. So that's working. That is doing what we expect it to do. So in our draw, we want to draw image with HTML5 element. Is it quitting before this draws? Is there like, do I need to make sure that this is in the, like in some kind of loop? Oh, sure, Shock. It's okay. I've been looking over and seeing like you're chatting with Musean. That's fine. Like I know it's not part of like this topic, but if you're learning and it's a good conversation, then I think that's fine. Okay, so we need to get one thing I'm not doing is request animation frame. That might be really important for us. So request animation frame. Do I have this in here? Kitty cat is not in the room with me, so I can't pet the cat right now. But as soon as kitty cat, if kitty cat shows up, I will pet the cat. Okay, so request. So here's request animation frame. It is available to us. And it takes a callback, which is a function, and a return. Okay. But this is available to us right now, and it's off of window. Do I have window? I don't have window. So we're going to need to grab that here. So that window, here's this. The web says window equals, what are you? Getter for the window object. Okay. So I need websys window dot unwrap. So you're now the window. Then down here, I want to do a window dot request animation frame. And this takes in a callback function. The callback function is not going to pass anything in. I don't think. But inside of here, we can now call this game state draw and pass it in a reference to the context, like that. Then you go away. Mismatch types expected reference. Oh, a reference to a function. Not a callback function. Oh, interesting. So I'm gonna need so if I have like a function like tick, like each time through the loop, we're gonna take in the context. And let's say we're not returning anything because we're not doing super great coding practice right now, but we're just sort of experimenting. So I want to put a reference to tick here. Mismatch types expected, a reference JSSys function. Oh, okay, so it's a JSSys function. The function constructor creates a new function object. Calling the constructor directly can create functions dynamically, but suffers from security and similar but far less significant performance issues similar to eval. Okay, so I can do function new with no args. Takes the body. Calling constructor. Okay, so it's literally the same. Feels like the same exact documentation string. The apply method calls a function with a given this value and argument provided as an array. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to have a function that's going to call these other functions inside of it, which basically I want to request an animation frame and then call one of these. So that's going to be interesting. So we need to create a JS function as part of this. So JSS function, are we bringing that in? No. And I think we are going to do just star. So we just got it all. We got everything. Now, if I want to create, not sure exactly where I want to put this. Let's put it up here. So that this is going to be our loop function equals function new. You don't know what to put in there. New no args. Still takes a body, which is a string. Now, if we take a look back at here, what we're doing is we're doing a request animation frame, and we're just asking it to run this loop. And then inside of this loop, we're calling our draw method to draw this out. But if I just do a request animation frame and make it empty, and then do this stuff all outside of it, I wonder if that would work. So if I do function, no arguments, and empty body here, I just don't really care about this. So if I do that, and then you are going to be a reference to our loop function. We request animation frame. Let's say we then have down here our game state dot draw. Put in a reference with the context. We're not going to have this tick. Failed to select a version for WebSys. Oh, the package jungle depends on WebSys with features function, but WebSys does not have these features. Okay, so I guess I don't need that. I already have it. Okay, so we got that. Nothing shows up in here, but no errors. We're back onto running start. Now, do I need to copy you and paste you again? Sort of like basically we do request animation frame. I don't really care about what it's doing. Just request the animation frame, draw out with the context, and then request animation frame again. Maybe? No, that doesn't work either. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Oh, check the console? Absolutely. Let's check the console. This is the console here. We're not getting anything. And then we have our terminal here, which is not giving us anything on this side from like the build and the Webpack stuff. So it's unfortunate. It's not very helpful. And the wasm func is being called in JS, right? Oh yes. So we have over here wasm start and start right here. Now I'm guessing these aren't really doing the right thing for us. Oh, look who showed up to give me a little break. We have a kitty cat. Console log debugging. Yeah, I need to figure out how to do console log. Ooh, you know what? Inside of this new, can I do this? Console log. Hello? I wonder if that would work. That seems, I can't imagine this would work. Like, it feels like that should be a macro to create like the JavaScript. Here's that hello. So it's working. The request animation frame is working. I am Hardliner. Hello. And also Chantilly Cake. Hello. All right. So given this, our hello is running. So that's this. The request animation frame is running. Now our draw isn't drawing anything to the screen. And if we take a look at draw here, what I'm trying to do is draw the image with HTML5 element, and I'm basically trying to wait until that finishes, and then go from there. The image is being loaded. We see that in the networking tab. So it's doing a GET request for that. So it knows it's supposed to be doing that. Am I using Wasmpak? Yes, I am. Also, hello, Josh Finney. We're using Wasmpak with this. So, okay, so we're setting the width to 150 by 150. I wonder if I need to like set this to be the same. Let's also try, move this back to the right-hand side. Let's try setting this to 0 again. Do you have the console error panic hook set up? It was really helpful when I was debugging. No, I don't. I did not know that existed. I'm brand new to playing with WebAssembly. I've only like a couple days looked at it. Okay, so it's not loading there. Let's see, you have this URL. Finding set panic hook. Oh, okay. Where does it go? Is it just anywhere? You put at the start of your main function before a panic could happen. Okay, so if I copy you back over here, so here's our start. Let's throw that in here. Oh, I guess it's running it outside of here. So I put this up here, and then I run it. Set panic hook, like that. No errors. Did I not do that correctly? In your cargo toml, let's go back, take a look at that. Look at default, under features. Then you disable that feature whenever you don't want it. Yeah, let's see. Where is this? Oh, so okay. I can just remove that. Let's just make it so we always have it right now. Okay, so you can't find that. The feature is console error panic hook. Oh, so we have to have that. Cargo add console error panic hook dash dash optional. Okay, let's try that. Cargo add like has been really screwing up my stuff. Oh, do I need? Okay, is this an actual crate that I need? Cargo error panic hook is a full crate, isn't it? Cargo add is not built into cargo yet, no, unfortunately. But if I run this, it's been causing problems recently. So throw you in. Here's my cargo toml. As soon as I run this, oh, wrong. Documents, code, builds, jungle. Okay, so now I want to throw in here. Unknown flag optional. Okay, so I'll just remove the optional. And this is what I did. Oh, God, look at all this. Don't need that. Okay, you're technically still working again. Yeah, it's not adding like the version number. It's basically, yeah, it's, I don't, like, it's not that old. It's only like a month or two old. But I guess things were moving fast in Rust land. All right, so back to here. Okay, so this is still working. We have our hello. We're trying to run set panic hook. Cargo add dash dash version. Sure. Wrong one. You. Oh, it's a dash 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 version. I forgot. That's the problem. We need to do that. So keep on forgetting. The optional would have probably worked if I did the dash dash. Okay, so for you, 07 came out 5 weeks ago, 06 33 weeks ago. Probably I have 06 then. It looks like 03. Hold on. Let's do a cargo install add. Oh, it's a cargo add, isn't it? 02. I have 02 apparently. Oh, it's cargo edit. Oh, I think I installed cargo add before. Do I need to like remove? Oh, add forced overwrite. So There you go. That'll be better. Yeah, it looks like it was like an really old version and then they changed it and like abandoned that crate. All right, now this thing isn't working the way we want it to. It looks like it's so we don't have the feature set up. It looks like so we have to dependencies, websys, dependencies. Don't want that. Console, panic, air, hook. Also, this took completely. Whenever I use cargo or the previous cargo ad, it broke crates, so that's fun. JS's was line gen. So we have you version our lib. It added all this fun stuff. We need to turn on the feature. By the way, cargo edit takes too much time to install than Rust because we need to build cargo edit. Yeah, I know. They could just add cargo edit to cargo. Yeah, but that's the thing. So how do I turn the feature on? All right, so here we are. What do we want to do? We wanted to do cargo add console error panic hook. So there we go. It added this. Wasn't Oh, and I would need to rebuild. Cool. You don't know the next thing to do. Wasm. Oh, wrong. Wasm pack build. Okay. So your line reloading. We have hello in there. Yeah, this won't open up to like let me know. It won't find any of that. Okay, that's cool. You have a node server that might have an error. I do have a node server running here. Here this is. It's through Webpack. So Webpack is not showing anything. No error. So do I need to like add in the features to enable this? The console error panic hook. Did we add that in? We did. Let's try removing this. So it's not showing an error. Like so, I removed that feature, so it's definitely compiling in now. Why? Well, okay, it's basically not crashing. That's the problem. Why does hello print 4 times? Good question. Let's see what's going on. We have hello in this loop function. And then we have this request animation frame in here twice. Now, inside of here, I have start only running once. Oh, if I unwrap it, it'll show up in console log. Do some kind of panic. I could throw a pan. Let's see. Panics equals console log before it exits. Okay, so let's try that. Let's try throwing in a panic. Testing. Panicked at testing at librs line 46. Okay, so here we go. And a stack trace. Nice, nice. And we can see that line 46 is where this panic came in. So there was no error before. That's what we're learning. There was no error in this code right now. So we're creating the image, we're storing that internally into our game state. Then we're calling draw here. I guess the question is, do I need to be able to call, like, I don't think I can do something like call game state dot draw. I've been calling draw right here, and it's not been working this entire time. I don't think I need to call it here, because then I need to pass in the context. And this is all JavaScript code. So this should be an error, I would guess. Expected expression, got that. Yeah, I know. The O is like that big thing. Like we're so close. Should build a print function that REST exports in JS console. I'm not sure what you mean. What I'm trying to do is to run this context. Let's go back to this book. Now we have context, begin path. Now I'm not using path. I'm trying to like just draw something to the screen. You're not mutable, so it shouldn't need to be mutable. I shouldn't need like a stroke or something. Oh, console log game state only. Which crate defines draw image with HTML element? That's the websys. Is the image in the DOM? The image is in a file, and so we can see in here in the network, it's actually doing a GET request for the image. So it's causing it to do a request for it. If I change the location, like if I do like ping A, recompile, we get a 404 error where it tries to find it. So it is trying to get this. I shouldn't have to add it to the DOM because this should be adding it to the DOM as part of like the drawing to the canvas. Because like this is the exact same code that you would do here, for example. I put this back. View. Let's not do this. I'm gonna bring you back. This is the JavaScript equivalent to what I'm trying to do in here. Yes, that's possible. Oh, so maybe I need to like run many more times loops. Oh, I see what you mean. So if I do this, here's that image. It's coming from here. Let's try putting this in an infinite loop. Maybe that's my problem. So maybe I don't need the request animation frame. Maybe I do. I'm gonna do a infinite loop here. I'm gonna throw you in. So grabbing the image and then running draw. No, you don't display anywhere. Try putting in the raft. What's the raft? Ha! Slowing down my browser because we have an infinite loop. Don't need to handle result. Which result? I'm just unwrapping here. Is this unused result? Wrap. Try that. RC is not defined. Okay, that's fine. Wait, are you not refreshing properly now? Oh, yeah, okay. That infinite loop is not a good idea. We need to stop the infinite loop. Okay, so we don't want this. Basically, what I want to do is request the animation frame and then draw in here. And I wonder if I'm going to need this struct available inside of JavaScript so that I could grab it out. Now, I don't think I have the context of this file, do I? So like if I create like a const hello equals hello world. If I do that inside of here, result log hello, I don't think that's gonna work. Stop, refresh. Yeah, hello is not defined, so it's not getting access to that. So set source, if you remember in your JS, is going to do a get on the image, but you can't draw that until you get a load event, even inside that run method. So the get internally won't return to the data is fetched. It's not event-based like JavaScript. You have to use features for that, which explicitly not these APIs. So theoretically, it should just be working, but it's not. That's what I'm hearing for that. So we're going through here, and so inside of our setup, we're creating an image, we're setting the source. So off of image, can you console log inside of draw also? Yes. I don't know how to do a console log in here. Oh, is there a like? Can I get? Is there a canvas node inside of your HTML? Yes, we found index.html. We have a canvas with an ID of canvas. Websys console log. Okay, so that's what I could do. So let's try that. So here we're gonna do a websys console log. Testing console log. I'm assuming there's an unwrap as part of that. Failed to resolve, could not find console and websys. I have to bring that in, don't I? It's like as part of websys console. Yes, I did. I did do that. Okay, so it's trying to build. Errors. Okay, so expected stress. JSys array found string. A JSys array. Okay, so now I need to bring in array. So let message equals JSys array new. We need to go creates a new empty array. Set the element of index to be a JS value. Oh God, everything is. So JS value. So create a new array. You think into on here would work? Can't imagine it would. Okay, so we do a new array. Oh, console log JS value from. Let's try that. JS value from that dot into there. It still is upset about this. This operation is unsafe. It's lied to me before about that. Okay, so array doesn't exist. We don't need that. We have array. Also, apparently I don't need the one thing I don't need to unwrap out of here. Okay, not implemented for JSys array. So console log 1. Okay, let's try this. We're gonna do console log Oh, console log 1. That's what we want. Log 1. Like that. I have 2 errors now. Oh, I'll need a reference at any rate. Log takes an array of JS values, log 1, log 2, log n, take n args. So let's go ahead and compile this, get the error out of here. Okay. The trait standard convert from is not implemented for JS value. So you think a reference to it would work? Hey, it does. Okay. Hello is not defined. Okay, hold on. That's up here. So I need to take you off. Here we go. So here's our logs happening. So thank you for that, Museum. But so it's calling the draw twice. I don't know why it's calling the draw twice. Over here, we're just calling this once. Like if I don't do these request animation frames, we're not getting the image. We have wasm bindgen start, which makes it run that function when it's imported. Oh, that's what it does. Okay. Oh, really? Okay. So then I don't need. Hold on. I did not realize that's what it did. Let's do that. Okay. So now it's happening just once. We can see the network is pulling it in still, but don't know why this is not. I feel like we're really close, but so we see that this is running here. Can you inspect the canvas in the browser? I suppose so. Beyond this, I don't know how to inspect it. Oh, to see his properties? Yeah, so he's got a width of 736, a height of 410. If I set this for like 1,000 by 1,000, that's not really doing anything for me. I guess we could also give it a background color of like green. just in case it was like white image also on top of it, but I don't see that. You're out of your here, element here. I haven't done much with the canvas. So the canvas, from what I understand, it's not the same as like normal DOM stuff. It's not like if I here let's switch away. Let's turn on you. If I turn on all these, this is showing up. If we take a look at here, it's still not going to show any of these things. And that's just because like canvases are using. It's more like a drawing to something. It's not a part of the DOM, really. It's pixel data. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if there's a good way to like look inside of it from this side. But that's a little bit unfortunate. Canvas is hard to debug. I am seeing that. So I'm thinking that I may have to what I may end up wanting to do is not do all of the stuff in Rust. It's looking like the interactions with the canvas is just not there right now, and it's just going to cause like more problems than it solves. But we have a way to do this canvas here. So what I'll probably be able to do is basically in our main library, I'll like instead of a lot of this to sort of like update the canvas, I'll be able to do yeah, GGZ cannot use it. It's on its way, but maybe sometime in the future. So we have something like game state here. We don't need this anymore. We want the wasm bind gen and the wasm bind gen here too. So we're not going to do any of these things. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to say something like we have the image URL, and it's going to be a string. So for our setup, we're not going to take into context. We're going to return this thing. So then this will be image that to owned. We're going to have both the same framework in both the browser. Yeah, it's something I would like to look into later. We did have the set width and set height on it, and it still didn't work. I set the width and the height on the image when we stored it in. Okay, so you do that. What are you upset about? No such field. Right, image URL. There we go. What are you upset about? Expected. Oh, hash on the other side. So we wouldn't have the draw on hearing. Dusty Posy, hello. It might get a zero size element. We did have the we did have that get. Okay, so if I have set up here, then theoretically, so this is going to be game state. Theoretically, we can set up our canvas instead of, so new image, we can store the image width here. Image source though is now going to be, so in our setup, we're going to do a game state equals wasm dot game state dot setup, like that. Then we can do our source. This is going to be game state dot image URL. We request animation loop. We do our draw, and this will be our image, and all that fun stuff. So if I do this, you're happy there, and you're unhappy here still. Your value is never read. Oh, because you don't need to be a string. Silly string. So you're not happy. Are we getting any errors? We are uncaught. NS error not available. What? Main.js line 29. Cool. Not even a number here. Oh, wait. Do I still have... No, I don't have anything crazy going on in here. What's the second cam for? It's for Kitty Cam, which... Kitty went away. Oh, hey. What? Hello. Here we go. We have a Kitty Cam. Who sometimes hangs out next to us. But he's in a very playful mood right now. How old is she? Like 4 months old, 5 months old at most. Very, very young. Okay. You can hang out here. Probably won't actually hang out here for long. He has toys all over the place. Okay, so like we're close, but I feel like I'm not taking my time to really get this set up here. If we don't do any of this stuff to sort of like start you off. If I console log the game state. Okay, we have the pointer. Wasm game state dot setup. It's giving us that. Forgot how to. So game state, hub function setup. Oh, you need to be a pub. And then can I get game state dot image URL undefined right now. You want this to be, oh, you need to be pub. Oh, you need to be string. Oh, interesting. Copy is not. 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 Copy is not Implemented for string. Do I need to derive clone and copy? No, because that's going to fail too, because string doesn't implement, I can't implement copy. So I can't actually store this down like that. So I would need like a private game state and like the game state, and it uses that behind the scenes. It's like that's what I would need. So if I have like a obstruct game, and maybe this doesn't even store anything in it, and then all the state stuff stores in here, and then I can do getters for this type of thing. Actually, I wonder if I make you private. Hold on. Make you private. Can I just do a get hub function get image URL? A string, and we're going to self.image URL. Do you work? Don't implement like that. Reference. Well, because like let's say I cloned. Just for right now. And so then this one is going to be game state dot get image URL. Okay, function get image URL. I should probably call the function. There it is. So we got that. Image source, you need to be a get image URL and call it. You don't work yet. I'm running out of time. Let's see. Oh, and then we need to do this. I turned off. There we go. Now I can store information about the game in Rust. The display part, like all the interactions with the canvas can happen in JavaScript, but all of the like mathematical stuff and everything else of moving it around could happen in Rust. I think that's where we're gonna have to go with. Now, I'll have to think about it just a little bit more. That being said, it is 8:56. I have a meeting in less than 5 minutes that I actually have to be part of. So, and like participate in. So I need to go prepare for that, which means I need to do an emergency stream shutdown. So thank you everybody for stopping by. We are going to be continuing this exact thing tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, where we will probably be like trying to like slowly set ourselves up for success by like maybe changing our architecture around, setting it up for how we eventually want the game to sort of like start looking architecturally, and then we also want to sort of set up our GitHub actions for pushing to GitHub. But with that, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.